That is the issue front and center here, whether Paul Ryan is going a little too far, especially when they talk about loyalty and whether people are breaking their loyalty to Donald Trump or to the eventual nominee. Remember when they all took that oath saying that they would back whoever the nominee was, and when the debates first started last summer, Donald Trump took a lot of heat for saying and raising his hand that he would have a problem with that. He has since signed on to that oath, but ironically, a couple of other candidates, including Lindsey Graham and Jeb Bush, have since said, not them, to Jimmy Kemp, the son of Jack Kemp, on what he makes of all of this. Jimmy, good to have you. What do you think your dad would think of this stuff?
Well, look, my dad's not here. I don't know what he would think. Nobody ever could really predict my father. I think one of Dad's strengths was that he recognized that unpredictability is an asset in politics, and people were surprised by the directions that my father went in his political career, and that it's interesting that that has proven to be really successful for Mr. Trump. But with Mr. Trump, all bets are off, and I think the oaths that were taken on the debate stage are. I wouldn't say that they're solemn oaths in this
well,
political
clearly
process.
not. But I mean, the other side, if you think about it, and I should posit here, Jimmy, that Donald Trump doesn't come on this show, so I'm not in the corner for him or whatever. I mean, if he doesn't want to come on here, seems to think he's treated unfairly, that's fine. That's his won't. But here's what's unfair about this. They demanded, you know, loyalty tests from him. Yet when he wins and gets a nomination easily, they're not making good on their own commitment to a promise they made. So do they look like hypocrites?
Yeah, I'm sure many people think they look like hypocrites, but the bottom line is that Mr. Trump was ready to renege on his oath. It appeared a few weeks ago, and I don't think that that's that big of an issue. The bottom line issue is really what you were talking about with Pat Buchanan, and where does the party go from here? Clearly,
well, where do you think it goes? There's definitely a schism, Jimmy, and by that I mean Bob Dole grudgingly, and I say grudgingly because he was not a fan of Donald Trump, but he would say he's going to stand behind Donald Trump. Dick Cheney the same. Paul Ryan, as we said, is still not quite convinced yet. We've heard that in the entire Bush family, they're skewing the convention altogether to say nothing of not supporting Donald Trump. Then Lindsey Graham, who's skipping out on the festivities and also not supporting Donald Trump. Yeah. Do you think that some of these guys end up looking like babies?
Yeah, I think lots of politicians end up looking like babies, and unfortunately I feel like there are times that Mr. Trump has absolutely looked like a baby, and he's the nominee. And so this is the time where the conversation has to it has to get better. And I think Speaker Ryan, he didn't belittle Mr. Trump. He said he's not quite ready to endorse him, and that he wants to get to know Mr. Trump better. It's really unprecedented for the top leader of a party to not know the nominee who's running for president. So I think all of us need to take a deep breath, relax, and there's a long time before the general election. Heck, we have a long time before the convention.
So you think they'll all make up and hold hands, kumbaya?
I don't know, Neil. I don't know, Neil. I mean, it'll be really interesting to watch how Mr. Trump morphs into a presidential persona. And
why should the onus be on him? Why should the onus be on him? He won.
Yeah, no, but if he chooses not to represent the conservative ideals and principles that the Republicans have represented, then it's not incumbent upon others to, you know, bow down and kiss the ring and do whatever Mr. Trump wants.
We'll see where it goes. Jimmy, thank you very much. Good seeing you again.
Thanks for having me, Neil.